Welcome to the Steel City. Is everybody ready to go? Let's proclaim the greatest radio show.
Welcome, fans, to part one of our Mock Draft 2.0. I'm your host, Jim Sella, here with Jay Dash. The NFL Draft is just days away. People are getting excited, Dash. They're going to throw parties. They're going to have parades down the street. There's going to be confetti flying through the air. What do you think? Are you pumped up?
Not really, man. We'll see what happens. But where is the draft at this year? Are you pumped up? Are you seriously very pumped up about this draft?
Oh, I'm excited. I love the NFL Draft. I love to sit there and watch it. I already told Audrey that I will be sitting in front of the television watching at least the first 3 rounds.
Yeah, I mean, I'll catch some of it, but I don't know. I don't care that much. Where is it at this season?
Philly, I believe. A lot of people have said they're not coming this year.
Well, I'm not going, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's start off with the Cleveland Browns here. They finished last in the AFC North, obviously, and they had a 1-15 record. What do you see them doing?
Browns were terrible last year. Everybody knows that. They're looking for quarterback help. They're looking for defensive back help. If they don't trade the pick for a quarterback, I see them taking defensive end Myles Garrett out of Texas A&M. I think everybody sees that. There's no reason not to take this guy, whoever has the first pick, whether it's the Browns or somebody else. We're not worrying about trades, so we're just going to say the Browns take Garrett number 1.
Is there a chance they trade that pick still?
I think so. The best situation I see is to Kirk Cousins and the Redskins and bring Cousins to Cleveland. I don't think it's going to happen, but there's still a small chance. The Redskins and Cousins can't really come to terms on a deal, so it would make sense for the Skins to get the first pick, and then maybe they take their quarterback at, I think, 17 is their next pick.
I don't know if Kirk Cousins can succeed in Cleveland or not, man.
Nobody can.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Next on the clock is the San Francisco 49ers at number 2. They went 2-14 and finished last in the NFC West.
Another terrible team here, the 49ers. Another first-year coach coming in with Kyle Shanahan coming from Atlanta. They're also looking for QB help. They're looking for some O-line help, some spotty help on the defense, I guess. Nobody's really a number 1 or 2 QB, so I think they go with safety Jamal Adams out of LSU. They brought in Hoyer and Barkley to be stopgaps at that quarterback spot. Maybe they'll take one later, but Adams is somebody who can step in, play right away, really improve that defense for the Niners. And we say it all the time, Dash, when your quarterback sucks, what do? Run the ball, play good defense. That's the way around it. So Adams, great safety. Him and Malik Hooker, number 1 or 2. Some people like Hooker here. I think Adams goes.
Speaking of bad quarterbacks, the Jay Cutler era is over in Chicago. They went 3-13 and finished last in the NFC North. Who'd they sign out there?
Mike Glennon.
Mike Glennon. That is correct. That's tough too, man. I don't see that as the answer. It doesn't make sense to me.
No, and the Bears' defense struggled the last few years. If they want to get back to championship form, they need to get better on the defensive side of the ball. Coach John Fox is going to look to fix that this year. I think they take a little bit of a flyer, and I only say this because of the injury. Marshawn Lattimore, the cornerback out of Ohio State, he's a little banged up. I forget exactly what happened. I think he had a knee injury or an ACL injury. But the guy's hurt at the moment, but he will be able to play, hopefully, full go by midseason. So I think he's a guy who could step in and really, really play well, especially alongside Prince Amukamara, who the Bears brought in on a 1-year deal this year. So it's definitely something to look for from the Bears.
Yeah, the Chicago Bears that finished with the 5th most points allowed in the NFC last season with 399. The Jacksonville Jaguars, who were next on the clock, also finished 3-13, let up 400 points this past season, and finished last in the AFC South.
Dash, let me clarify real quick. I got Lattimore mixed up with Sidney Jones. Lattimore was having hip flexor problems at the Combine. Jones is the one who tore his Achilles.
Either way, they're both beat.
Yeah, just wanted to clear that up real quick, though. The Jaguars, I had them taking Leonard Fournette in our first mock draft. I think they're going to take him again. It's almost a no-brainer here. Him or Cook, the other running back, you could say either one would go here. I like Fournette better. The Jags have been desperate for a running back. They brought in a lot of defensive help through free agency. Bortles is on a make or break year. They didn't pick up his options, so if he doesn't have a good year, he could be out. Easiest way to help this team, add a great running back. The defense was good last year, but they gave up a lot of points because they were on the field too long. Easiest way to solve that, control the ball better, don't turn it over so much, run the football well. That's what they need to do. That's what Fournette will give them.
The next pick is a team within the same division, and that is the Tennessee Titans. And they went 9-7 and finished in second place, nearly won that division last season.
The Titans have this pick from the Rams. They need some wide receiver help, some inside linebacker help. Mariota should be okay from that broken leg. They say he's at least walking around now, maybe doing some slow jogging. They need to put playmakers around him. Mike Williams, the wide receiver from Clemson, is the guy to do that. Mariota won't be running around as much, hopefully, at the beginning of the year because you don't want to expose him coming back from that injury. They've had some trouble finding good wide receivers there in Tennessee, but I think Williams, I don't want to call him a lock because nobody's a lock, but I think he's one of those guys that could be good. Although the name's scary. Weren't there a lot of Mike Williams coming out of the draft a few years ago that were garbage?
Well, yeah, over the past 10, 15 years, there was 2 or 3 of them.
Yeah, and they were all terrible. They had like a few good seasons between like 3 of them.
Yeah, correct.
Other than that, this guy should be pretty good.
The 6th pick overall is the New York Jets. They went 5-11 and finished last in the AFC last season, led up 409 points defensively.
The Jets have nobody at quarterback. They let Geno Smith go. They let Ryan Fitzpatrick go. Todd Bowles, his job could be in limbo if he doesn't have a good year. They do have Hackenberg and Bryce Petty, I believe, is the other guy up there.
Yeah.
They may bring in a veteran like Jay Cutler or Kaepernick after the draft, depending on what happens. But I like Mitch Trubisky here, the quarterback out of North Carolina. People are up and down about who's the best quarterback in the class. For some reason, I just feel like Trubisky's going to get the most looks early. I feel like he's closer to the most traditional type of passer in the NFL. I don't want to call him an exact traditional because he's only played quarterback. He was only a starter at quarterback for 1 year in college, so he's a project, but he's a guy that can come in. Maybe they do bring in Cutler or Kaepernick, let them play for a year or two, maybe let Trubisky sit. But we've seen it 100 times recently. They just throw guys into the fire, so there's also a possibility that happens, and then he sucks.
In their final year in San Diego, the Chargers went 5-11, finished last in the AFC West. They actually started out 5-6 though, and lost their last 5 games. So they left San Diego looking like garbage, and I think they look like garbage heading to Los Angeles as well.
Yeah, they need some O-line help, probably some help at wide receiver, some D-line help, and some defensive back help. And I think the safety, Malik Hooker out of Ohio State, really fits in right here. Originally, we had them taking Solomon Thomas, the pass rusher from Stanford, but all indications show that they love Hooker. I've read a lot of articles that said they're just enamored with this guy's ability. He keeps rising up on the draft board. I think I had him going to the Saints a few picks later in our first draft, but he's probably going to crack that top 10. He's a rangy guy, and he's a guy that can give Phillip Rivers in that offensive short field every once in a while with some plays.
The Super Bowl representative 2 seasons ago was the Carolina Panthers. Now they have the 8th pick in this year's draft, going 6-10 and finishing last place in the NFC South.
Yeah, they could use some help on the defensive side of the ball, too, and at running back, but I don't think they go running back here. I heard their GM, or maybe it was their owner, I forget which one, I think it was their GM. He said that there are at least 6 running backs in this draft that he feels could be 3-down backs. And if that's truly the case, and not a smokescreen, that means they could wait till the second round to get one. The top 6 running backs aren't going to go by the second pick for the Panthers, in the second round. So I think they added the defensive side of the ball right here with Jonathan Allen, the defensive end from Alabama. They signed Julius Peppers, but they traded Coney Ealy to New England. It gave them an extra second round pick, which is even more of a reason why they could take a running back early in their second round and then somebody else with that extra second round pick. Just makes a lot of sense. Even if it's not Allen, I really feel like it's going to be a defensive player here at 8. I don't think they take Christian McCaffrey. A lot of people are saying they're going to take McCaffrey here at 8. I think the media is hyping him up more than what scouts actually are. Not that I don't think he's good, I just don't think he's top 10 potential.
At pick number 9, we have the Cincinnati Bengals. They are a team looking to get back into playoff contention. They went 6-9-1 last season in the AFC North, finished third, although they did allow the least points allowed in the division with 315.
I didn't change this pick from our first mock draft. I think the Bengals are going to take Reuben Foster, the linebacker from Alabama. They don't shy away from character guys. He was the guy that yelled at a nurse and got sent home. Now there's reports that say he provided a diluted sample for his drug test, so he technically failed his drug test. His excuse was he was sick leading up to the combine and on a fluid-only diet and, drinking only Gatorade and water, so that's why his sample was diluted. And it is worth noting that he was about 10 pounds under his playing weight when he got to the combine, so that kind of adds to the story a little bit. Whether it's true or not, I don't think the Bengals care. They love guys like this. Look at Burfict and Pac-Man Jones. Foster's a great talent, just a little bit, on the character side you got to worry about. Perfect fit for the Bengals.
And at pick number 10, we have the Buffalo Bills, who finished 7-9 in third place in the AFC East. Although their offense scored some points last season, 399, that actually matched the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Garyon Conley, the cornerback out of Ohio State, would really fit here at number 10. They lost Gilmore to the Patriots. The Patriots are also trying to poach your boy Gillislee.
Oh, yeah?
They signed his to a restricted tender. You know how you tender a guy, whatever level. And the Bills have yet to match it, so the Patriots might actually poach him away like they did Chris Hogan last year. They love to pick on the Bills. But I think Conley provides a guy who can come in, start day one, help that Bills defense. They were terrible last year with Rex Ryan and Rob Ryan. Those guys are idiots. Hopefully the Bills got it figured out now with Anthony Lynn. They should be a better defense than last year because they do have good players, and Conley is a guy who can help them get there.
And that is picks 1 through 10. We are going to wrap this one up, and we will do picks 11 through 20 in our next segment.
Fans, any questions or comments, hit us up on Twitter at bet_the_spread. Hit me up on Twitter at betjimthewin. Check out our Facebook page at facebook.com/betthespread. You'll find the episode there. Throw your top 10 picks in the comments. Let us know what you're thinking. Always come back to YouTube and click subscribe. Tell all your friends about us.